Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reacts, where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Brandon the Creator titled Caught You. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on the screen on Spotify there. Get that nice and big up on the screen for you there. It's good to check it out. It's got like a nearly 6,000 plays, so that's pretty good. And we're going to listen through it from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's get into it. Let's go. It's nice and short too. Wistful guitar part.
Yeah, I be in pain. Didn't think music would have sprained. Working hard, easy days on the way. On my path, yeah, still go straight. Held back by thoughts that betray. What I am to you is a game. Stay in the box, score up if they play hardship. Warm waters on the way. Try to stay afloat, but they debauch your hoes. On me like a ghost, do what I can to take care of the folk. It's cool, you can't get it all. Still do the most work. 2 or 4 jobs, and get me close in to the lie. My race truly start. Let life run a course, now it's just team good, turn to evil, tunnel just ain't keep on the right path. But say, we can look for more when you look at people all hurt. Different pain, they equal. Sum it up, by that eagle. Think you better, but you die like we do. No man beats, time he made. Whether it to the punch fall short, you get sick, no one teach your name. Lose support when the haters every day. A bad draw, still put you on display. Paint a big truth, the words, no mistakes. Microtransactions, small rapper moving, say swear he can battle, still pass him up alley. Always up butt head, like John Moran, got a pen and palette. Mix me with the game, change the grace and the goats. Staying on go, cause honor's all I know. Need I tell you more? You want the bread, I made it though. True art always sell, sadly my price too high to ski with cars like this. Long days, dark nights, slow food, felt to be the truth to me. I'm better than all of you. It's unfortunate, I'm around aiming for success like a good kid. Hand me my star now, out of this world where you see how bright I shine. Like Mr. Clean, sign me, use Windex to write my records down. Don't put it past me, I catch fire on these beats. Bar conversation like you did and dead homie. Heard you want it next up, tell you bitch you gotta blow me up. Host me on her page, yeah. Raw the merch all day. Don't think we play games or walk a cheat code. Creation, craving, creating. Crippy scheme so flagrant. Flabbergast, fuck niggas hate. Hasty to fall off, learn pacing. Pray for change, told to stay me.
It's so short and sweet. There's so much to absorb all at once that I think I'm going to just take another quick listen through, just isolated, see if I can kind of get more of the sort of context of the lyrics. But we're going to talk about this track more in the conclusion. And so welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Brandon the Creator titled Caught You. So I had a couple of listens through this just to sort of really kind of get a gist of what it was about. And my best guess on what it's about is it's discussing the fact that whether in terms of their career or just their life in general or both, they have caught on to the people who are playing silly games, the F around and find out sort of situation here. And they're wanting to put these people on display there and showcase their stupidities for the world, you know. And I think also part of it is simply letting people know that regardless of what occurs, they are not going to be caught, that Brandon is going to be able to sort of outsmart the people around them and outplay them as they advance in their career and everything else, you know. It's that kind of us versus their mentality here. And I think that when you consider the sound of the guitars in here, as well as the delivery of the vocals and everything else going on them, and how authoritative the bass and drums are, it makes a lot of sense. So one of the things that's done well here is that Brandon can clearly, you know, comfortably rap. Their flow is tight, the speed and pacing of the rhythms is really effective. I got most of the words through clearly on the first try. You could have potentially have gone a little bit more slowly with the tempo overall, just to allow all the words to have been heard on the first listen, but to be fair, that's totally okay if we want to have a bit more kind of pace to it. And I think there is an inherent catchiness and sort of flavor to the instrumental backing that's instantiated within the first 20 seconds or so that allows for that foundation for the vocals to be like that. I think that, you know, most of the words came through clearly on that first listen, and we express ourselves in a way where we're simultaneously, we're not trying to sort of like show that we've been affected by this too much, but it's sort of like a calm, confident, but it's like he knows that they're on to them, you know, like there's no more confusion anymore. We know exactly, we've caught them. So I think the way that we rap is effective. We show polish and experience on the mic, and I think also that the relative expression as well is good, and it matches the kind of tone of the instrumental backing. I think structurally it's quite effective. It's a really interesting mixture of different sort of like percussive sort of like shakers or like cymbal parts there with the guitar parts, with the slidey parts there. I think that's kind of is very sort of wistful, and there's an inherent sadness that is communicated through the minor leanings of that even though we've come to terms to it and we've come to sort of like take some hits. And I think that, you know, like there are some beautiful melodies and parts that are played on those strings, and they go between these two main sort of chords or bass notes there for a lot of the track. And we do change the way we sort of like play the guitar as we go through the piece. We don't overstay our welcome with a certain approach to it to help sort of segment the piece and not need to introduce too many superfluous instrumental layers within to the track. And we maybe even have some sort of like harmonies occasionally, but they're very wistful, they're very soulful. There's a depth that's provided by the reverb layers on them as well, the tails to those. And I think to accompany those, the bass line has a nice sort of portamento or roll to it there. It's thick and full in the mix. It's a nice ground bed to the guitar parts on top and harmonizes nearly with those and goes between those notes really smoothly. And the drums and the cymbals and sort of like claps or snares are side chained in a way which is effective, rolling between a mixture of different quarters, eighths, and sixteens. So ultimately, the main ingredients we have instrumentally are great. Again, they support the vocals well with whatever flow they go through. And just being confident enough in that motif to be able to have it for the first sort of 25 seconds without any vocals is impressive, because it showcases not just an attention to telling a story, but also the fact that we understand that both the music and the vocals are as important as each other. And structurally, I think at 1 minute 53, this is like the final, because I usually talk about like 3 things I really like as well as some constructive critique. The structure itself is really well handled. It's a really short and sweet track underneath the 4 minute sweet spot that I usually have. Here, I don't think they were missing context. In fact, there was a lot that was spoken within this track, which is why I had to have a couple of listens through it. So I think that even though we had that instrumental backing for like the 20, just by itself for 25 seconds, there was enough time to sort of do what we needed to on the mic for the remainder of it, even allowing a bit more of the guitar motif to continue near the end by itself before the very sort of like blunt finish. We were just in and out. We set in a precedent, we created an environment or an atmosphere at the start, and you were kind of sitting there wondering where it was going to go until Brandon came in, switched things up a little bit. Welcome introduction. Now you're like, oh, okay, let's hear their tale that they're going to tell. And they don't overstay their welcome. You have switch up, slide adjustments of different instruments as they go through there. It's a very full sounding mix as well from a production perspective. There's quite a bit of focus within like the center of the stereo field to like 50% either way there. I'm not sure if there were just parts like it's a very kind of like intense mix. And it's almost like even though we're kind of calm and collected again with the way we're communicating with the listener, there is some sort of like pull. There are some strong emotions behind that. But I think that also comes from like the production being quite tight and compressed and sort of limited quite neatly there. There's a bit of pulse and push to the track there, but just structurally nice and short and sweet, not taking the listener's attention for granted. It's kind of like popcorn, you know, it's good sort of like a level, and it allows us to go through this discography and try other tracks a bit more efficiently. So ultimately, I think the highlights to me with this track are the vocals as well as the instrumental backing, with the mixture of kind of really interesting sort of minor-oriented melodic guitar parts with the bass and the drums there, as well as the actual structure of it being really short and sweet. To summarize it, there was nothing here I feel could have necessarily been improved apart. I mean, I mentioned maybe having a slightly slower tempo or something like that, just so the words and the music could be explored. Because again, it's a very short track as it is, but that's more sort of a subjective thing. Ultimately, it's just a really great first impression to Brandon the Creator's work, and I'm glad I had the chance to listen to it. So thank you very much for watching my review of this track from Brandon the Creator titled Caught You, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show him some love via the various social medias and the Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next DSP Reacts. Spiderhands out.